2, 1. Mic check, mic check. Welcome back to another episode of the Second Half Podcast. I'm your host, Jabari Saunders. We got another great episode coming your way. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like, follow, and subscribe. We got another 3-year NFL pro who spent time with the Cardinals, 49ers, Dallas, and Atlanta. Before taking those shoes off for the last time, he figured it out. He's doing an incredible job in entrepreneurship in the space. We got none other than William Sweet joining the podcast. William, man, appreciate you jumping on, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Well, let's start from the jump, man. You know, the journey started somewhere. Where did it start off for you?
So for me, man, it started off in Jacksonville, Florida, man. That's where I'm born and raised. And
Okay.
Northside specifically.
Northside, okay.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
represent.
Yes,
And
sir.
obviously growing up that way, did you have brothers and sisters who kind of kept you around the game or helped mold you as you were growing up?
Definitely have a brother and a sister. However, I was the only athlete in my family.
Okay.
So that was, one of the motivating factors for me. We've got a very talented family of busy, smart professionals, entrepreneurs, and even entertainers. So very, very blessed to wear the athlete hat in the family.
Man, I love that. Now, was football, obviously we know that you found success in football, but was that the only sport that you were playing in, growing up?
No, man, I pretty much played the big three: baseball, basketball, football.
Yeah, for sure. Florida, y'all got a lot of talent down there. It's always somebody coming out of Florida, especially North Florida. So y'all got all the teams down there to represent. The SECs, the ACCs. Even Atlanta, all the teams down there. So as you were kind of making a journey when you were playing in high school, what was that journey like? Like, how did you figure out hey, football is it, and this is when I know that I need to get after and take serious?
Man, before I get into that, I just want to say, Florida is a very special place. I think, as you can see in my background right now, it's about maybe 50, 56, nice breeze, not too
Man.
cold, not too hot. I hate that it's snowing where you at right now.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago, we give and take, but once that summertime come around, it's a different. We got to get you up here in the summer. We're gonna get you on the boat. We're gonna get you in the water. We're gonna make sure you understand the other side of Chicago for sure.
Hey, cool. Nah, that's cool. But no, man, I'm very, very blessed and proud to be a Floridian. And one thing that makes our athletics a lot different than a lot of other states is that we're year round, where we can play, in all 4 seasons, every major sport we can ball out and do our thing. So definitely love Florida, and I just moved back home to Florida, so excited about that.
That's awesome. Now, when was it that you knew that you actually had game, that you had something you could work with?
To be honest with you, man, I always just kind of just follow what my coaches used to tell me to do.
Yeah.
And I never really looked at it like I got game or I don't got game. I was just out there having fun.
Yeah.
I started out as tight end. And nobody, for the record, nobody wants to grow up playing offensive line. Well, let me rephrase that. Nobody where I'm from grows up wants to play offensive line, right? So I wanted to score a touchdown. I wanted to score touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? So they threw me in at tight end every now and then, but they kind of tricked me, man. They tricked me because they had me blocking more than they had me catching.
Right.
But it's cool.
They had you on them out routes and,
cool.
them little slant,
cool.
Go sit in the middle. No.
Yeah, it's cool. They threw me the ball enough to keep me happy, but after a few times, coach sat me down. I was like, look, man, I really think you can go to college for free playing offensive line. So had to start taking a little bit more serious and gaining the weight and learning the next level approach to be one of the greats.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, clearly, they started you off playing tight end, so you obviously got some size on you. What you about 6'6", 260, 270?
In high school, I was 6'7", 260.
Okay.
In the NFL, I was 6'7", 325 pounds.
Man, yeah, you had a huge transition in having to gain weight and all those things. So I already know that journey and differentiation between that tight end and offensive line and what that looked like for you. But clearly you had some speed and some footwork, so you had the tools to go with it.
And the easy part was like transitioning from like baseball and basketball and using those skill sets into the football field. I think what helped me specifically in my NFL career was being able to extend plays for your teammates, right? So a lot of offensive linemen kind of stay within that line of scrimmage area
Yep.
where even on pass plays, like I'm running downfield being an extra blocker. You typically don't see that a lot of times. And funny story, I actually got offered right on the spot from one play on my highlight tape from the University of Tennessee,
Really?
where my coach Gillespie, he was running back coach at Tennessee. He came down in the spring and was like asking me like who was my offers, and I kind of let him know I got Florida, Florida State, Miami, Georgia, South Carolina, and he immediately was like, "Stop, add Tennessee to the list." But before that, we were watching my highlight tape together, and it was a play with DeAndre Johnson completing the pass to Tristan Payton. Believe we were playing a high school called Sandalwood,
Okay.
First Coast versus Sandalwood, and he kind of caught this maybe out route, and he kind of shook the defender, and he's like staying in bounds, and he's still running. And from the line of scrimmage, I saw him like extending the play. So I'm like running downfield, and I immediately like just ran as fast as I could and just cracked the corner. And that's like maybe like the third or fourth play on my highlight tape. So after he saw that, he was like, add Tennessee to the list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said, "Hey, I can get off the line. I can get downfield, and I can go in here and help you extend the play." And that's what it's about right there. Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime you can have an extra blocker in the mix, I mean, it's damn near like a screen, like an
Yeah.
undesigned screen where you can get alignment downfield on those safeties.
Yep.
Is not even a competition.
Now you kind of mentioned a little bit about this. You started to get into those those schools that you were looking at in your list. Who was the one who was kind of helping shape you? Did you have a coach? Did you have a mentor that was around during that time to help walk you through it, or even an athlete that might have been in that area to kind of come in and help you with the knowledge that you needed to transition into the collegiate career?
Yeah, I would say Chris Kapilovic. He was my offensive line coach at North Carolina, and the one thing that I did appreciate and admire about him the most was that he didn't lie to me. He
Mm,
was actually one of the few coaches in the recruiting process that he never sugarcoated anything. He never told me sweet lies. He told me, "Look, the best five is going to play,"
mm,
and I could do nothing but respect that, and that's something that I want. I wanted to earn my opportunity. A lot of schools were like telling me this and telling me that, or you're going to be our guy. You're going to be like, this is in high school. I'm like 16, 17. They're telling me,
yeah.
yeah, you're going to be the starter. And I'm like, I don't doubt my abilities, but my thing is if you're telling me this in recruiting, who else you telling that to?
Yep.
Right. So it's a numbers game. So I always understood like the business side of it that, you know, you got to tell people what they think they want to hear if you want them to come there. At least from the college football recruiting world, like they literally would tell you anything you wanted to hear just so you can sign and play football there. So I
Yep.
already knew that. But one thing that I can honestly say, he never like promised me nothing. He always
Right.
told me like, I'm gonna play the best five and I'm gonna help you reach your goals and your dreams. And for me, that's the only thing I wanted was an opportunity.
Man, that's awesome. Obviously, you made that transition, right? UNC was obviously the number one choice that you made. You felt right. Those other schools that were on the list, which one you mentioned them a little bit? Like, who were like your top five that you were like, hey, all right, these are the ones I'm going to check out for sure and see what's going on at these schools.
Over 40 Division I scholarship offers. But within like proximity to me that I was considering seriously was like Florida, Florida State,
Yeah,
Miami, South Carolina, Georgia. Um, but I really felt comfortable at North Carolina. Like I would have went to school there even if I wasn't an athlete, even if
yeah,
I didn't play football. So I know a lot of people like, man, that's a basketball school, right? Rightfully so. Shout out to the GOAT, man.
right.
2023 made a way for a lot of people. and not just basketball, but in all athletics. And
Yeah.
you talk about that Jumpman logo, that Jumpman brand. There were perks to it. I'm not gonna sit
Yep.
here and say that it wasn't.
Oh, I know.
But that was yeah. I know you used to work with directly with the Jordan brand and actually lead that division in Chicago. So we'll love to hear about that from you on your end, 'cause I don't think a lot of people understand your story
Yeah,
as
yeah,
relates to how you transition from running Jordan brand in Chicago to starting your own business. So I,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's very commendable. Shout out to you, man. That's really
No,
dope.
appreciate it. No, we definitely gonna get into that conversation for sure. I'm gonna put it. Everybody been asking me like, Jabari, when you gonna put it out there? I'm like, I know, I've been holding tight, but I'm gonna get it out there. We're gonna put it out there next. I got you.
Got you.
For sure. No,
I'm a
I
size
remember.
14, just in case if anybody needs to
Hey,
know.
listen, I got a bunch of 16s over here that I'm sitting on. I'm like, man, what do I do with them? But nah, man, it's funny. We joke about that all the time. Like I just had Derek Anderson, and him being one of the Jordan athletes. He was like, man, I got so many shoes here at the crib. I'm like, man, I get it. So, well, yeah, like I remember being. I mean, UNC Chapel Hill. Yes, you got the goat there. But on top of it, it's just a beautiful campus. I was able to be there. I was a part of the group that put the Jumpman on the football field. So I was there for the photo shoots and, launching it out there. Obviously, basketball was already doing that, but now having it for all the other sports, so baseball and football and things of that nature, as well as, some of the other schools in Michigan as well. So that was a part of like one of the last couple of projects that I had during that time. It was definitely special in being there. The ceiling is the roof, as MJ once said. Yeah, a
Whatever that
throwback, right?
means. Whatever
Yeah,
that
whatever that
means.
means. Hey, the ghost said it, so everybody
Yeah, it
rolled
don't
with it. We
matter.
threw it on a T-shirt and said,
It
"Hey,
don't
let's
matter what
roll."
he say, man. Talk about marketing, right?
Man,
Talk about marketing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, man, obviously you had the success you did at UNC. Offensive linemen, you need them. Like you got to find somebody that's going to protect the offensive line, protect the quarterback, make the run game pop. What was that transition and journey from UNC working out with so much talent there and transition into your professional career?
I was blessed to have a lot of success at North Carolina on the football field, but I was also blessed to have a lot of success off the football field, where I actually won the Floyd B. McKissick Senior Recipient Award for
Okay.
outstanding leadership and character on campus. It has nothing to do with football. And I also was able to win first place at the Keenan Flagler Business School for winning the pitch competition at the business school. So wanted to definitely highlight on those awards as well as any NCAA athletic awards. But it was a blessing to have amazing group of teammates that come from all over the country, specifically North Carolina,
Yeah.
where the running backs, the receivers, quarterbacks was just a very special, talented group. Not too many people can say that they protected two first overall quarterbacks. Luckily for me, but most importantly, luckily for them, they had the best of the best protecting them, such as Kyler Murray, who was number one overall pick
Yep.
back in 2019, and also Mitchell Trubisky, which
Yep.
I believe was the first quarterback taken, maybe first overall, but definitely first quarterback taken, I believe
Yep.
in 2018
Yep.
draft.
Yep. Yeah,
So
so that was a big year. So many Bears fans here in Chicago, they talk about that.
yeah,
The
man,
good
he
and the
went
bad,
to Chicago. I know.
It's
It
tough.
would
It's
it
a
would have
tough
been a
journey.
lot better if I ended up in Chicago, but instead I went to Arizona with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta
Absolutely.
have somebody protecting your blind side.
Clearly, you do, and that's something during that time it wasn't happening, and even after that with Justin, Justin Fields on there, it just wasn't happening as sharp as it should have been.
I think, for me, man, like being like a true offensive lineman, it's more so about grit, pride, and protection. You know what I mean? And it comes down to I'm not gonna let my quarterback down. I'm not gonna let my team down. And forget the X's and the O's, forget the spin moves and the run block scheme and pass block scheme. It just comes down to, you know what, I'm not going to let you touch my quarterback.
By any
And
means.
when you develop that mentality and, you truly believe that, regardless of how many sacks this defender has or has had this season or in the past or whoever they are, you got to have a level of you are not going to get through me to get to
Yeah.
him
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
kind of attitude. And one of my high school coaches, he was like, look, man, he used to tell us this all the time because we had the number one quarterback, actually Mr. Florida, the number one player in Florida at the time,
Hmm.
DeAndre Johnson. Um, he was our quarterback, and in high school, he always used to tell us, man, look, if you get beat, hold the shit out of him. Do not let him hit the quarterback. So um, I know that's not necessarily the best advice,
Yeah.
but basically what he was saying is, look, we can take a holding penalty, but do not let our quarterback get hurt.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny.
No, that's real. That's real. Something I want to go back to because you really said this, and you seem to always have this kind of entrepreneur leadership piece in your heart. Like you talked about the awards that you were doing and the work that you were doing outside of football. I want to dive into a little bit of that. Like what kind of spearheaded that? Like for you to say, okay, I want to go out here and you know and galvanize and create leadership with outside of, off the field and create some moments for yourself. Where did that kind of stem from?
I think it definitely started from my parents. I mean, both my parents graduated from Florida A&M,
Yep.
at FAMU in Tallahassee. And growing up, it was more so, where are you going to college, not if you're going to college kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, they pretty much always just instilled in me to just be the best at everything that I do. So it's not necessarily just be the best football player, but be also the best student, be the best son, be the best uncle, be the best whatever you're doing.
Yep.
And for me, man, I had a really great time being a student athlete because I literally lived both lives to the fullest.
Yeah.
Um, Only thing I would say that probably wasn't the best experience was like my social life, because I was just so busy. Like I didn't have time to interact as much as I would like to on campus. For those that don't know, North Carolina sits very close to a lot of other schools,
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of other students, with a lot of distractions. So maybe
I'm about
that's
to
a
say
good thing.
you got Duke, you got what NC State, you got Wake Forest, like
Man,
all within a
Shaw
what?
University,
Yeah. Oh
Wake
man.
Forest around the corner. I mean,
Yep.
it literally, I think it's like 18 universities within like this little radius that they
No,
have
that's
up
why.
there, man. It's
Yeah.
it's it's
Yeah.
insane.
That's why. So I can only imagine during that time you were 18, 20-year old, got so many
17. I got
distractions.
I got to college at 17, bro.
Oh, you
I
was there at
graduated.
17. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
nobody believed me, but I graduated early so I could enroll in that spring and get started early on the football field
Oh,
and
that's
in the
smart.
classroom.
Yeah, that's smart. Knock out
And
some
also
classes.
that first summer that I was there, to answer your question, um, I told my coaches that I wanted to get an internship. Number one, I wanted to make some money.
Yep.
Let's keep it 100.
Yep.
Wanted to make some money. This was before NIL, so
You know that's where I'm
um,
going next after you.
yeah, man, they wasn't giving us the NIL contracts at that time. So coming from Florida, man, I wanted to have some money in my pocket,
Yep.
and I met this guy named Peter Fox, who owned at the time the most Jimmy John's in the country, which is the
Wow.
sandwich
Yep.
shop.
Yep.
And he just really took a liking to me because I had an interest in working as a 4 or 5 star athlete. I don't think he ever like met a student athlete that wanted to do an internship the first year when they quote unquote didn't have to.
Yep.
And I didn't have to, right? But I wanted to set myself up for life after football whenever that ended. I didn't know I was going to the NFL at 17,
Mm.
but I always knew that. Relationships are the best currency.
Yep.
And it always interests me about the franchise business of how much of an impact that you have just from a simple sandwich. You
Yeah.
know, from the person that's making a sandwich to the person that's behind the cash register to the person that's hungry that has a meeting in 20 minutes and needs to have some food on their stomach to be productive at their line of work, right?
Yep.
So all those different things, man, it was just like really cool to learn about how much value can be created just from a simple sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. No, having leaders and mentors and people around to just kind of open up the aperture a little bit so you can see, like, nobody knows the details into the story of what you were able to learn and grab from. Like, people think, oh, I'm just going to Jimmy John's to go get a sandwich. Like, throw some bologna on there, throw some turkey, whatever it is you throw on there, and close it up and get me out the door. But the reality of it is you're serving somebody with so much more than just that, because you're trying to make that service that you're providing, you're doing more than that. You're setting them up for their journey on life and what that is for their daily, actions and what they're trying to
100%.
get
And
after.
you're solving problems, man. And
Yep.
you know, if a mentor of mine told me a long time ago, if you want to make more money, don't try to find ways to make more money. Try to find ways to be more solution driven. Can
Mm.
you how can you solve other people's problems? How can you
Yep.
add more value? And the money will follow, right?
Yep.
Because the product and service that you're providing, if it's good, will be more valuable than the money. For example, if I'm stranded in Chicago in an area I don't need to be, the money that's in my pocket is worth more than me paying of me getting home safely or to my hotel safely than the money in my pocket.
Yep.
I can get some more money,
Right.
but
You can get some more
I
money, but you got to get
yeah, man,
home in order to get that money.
yeah, man, because I ain't never really been ventured out of Chicago like that. But I know the National Guard up there, right? They
They
still
was
up
in and
there?
out. They in and
In and
out.
out.
Yeah.
Okay,
They.
well, I don't know. Anyway, long story short, I don't need to be where I don't need to be, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whatever money is in my pocket, I would happily pay that because it's going to solve my problem to get somewhere safe.
Yeah.
So safety is more important than just $300-400 in my pocket,
Yeah.
right? So that's just a small example to where you may charge a high ticket item such as like a lobster and steak for $150 or 125, right? That experience, the taste buds, that occasion, this is my uh anniversary, it's my birthday, whatever it is, my birthday, this event is way more valuable than this $125. So I don't mind paying it. It's like a
Yep.
haircut.
Yep.
You got barbers that charge $40. You got some barbers that can charge up to $400. Just
Right.
depend on the package and
And the
services and
service you
whatever
get.
else that
Yep.
you want, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. No, you spot on. Let's get to the NFL, because I definitely want to get into that second half for sure, because you got a lot of insight to be able to provide. So, you know, UNC, you're closing that chapter, you're stepping into the NFL. What was that experience like, by getting that jersey for the first time and saying, hey, I done made it to the NFL, something further that I wasn't even really trying to go to. You were just trying to, you know what I'm saying? In other words, one, make some money and get an education.
Yeah, I mean, definitely after I graduated, I didn't really see a purpose in staying in college another year. I had actually 2 extra years of eligibility to play at the collegiate level, but I didn't really see a benefit, especially as we were losing, to stay another 2 years when I had an opportunity to go put my name in the NFL draft. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, man, got my degree, got an opportunity to go play for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I took that chance, man, and first year, got a chance to block for the number one pick overall. And if I didn't make that decision, I never would have went to Arizona, never would have played with Kyler Murray,
Yep.
and never would have had an opportunity to be in the desert
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Arizona.
yeah,
So definitely one of the hardest things I ever had to do, both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and even financially. One of the hardest chapters of my life,
yeah,
just because it's so much. thrown at you so fast that that's what it takes to be a professional, right? Because there's no one monitoring you. Okay, you got study hall, you got to do this after
Yep.
practice, you got to do that after work or this or that. So it's more so creating your own ecosystem to not only stay in that league but also to thrive in that league. And if you look at some of the greats, I mean, hard work just can't be it just can't be beat, right? I mean, you
Yep.
talk about like LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and all of these greats, and in basketball, something that a lot of their competitors used to say is, man, they used to literally live in the gym to put up 100 shots, full practice, 100 shots after practice, 100 shots in the morning. So it's like, that was a byproduct of their success, right? To where they were in practice just like everybody else, but they were also doing things on their own to help them stay at the top that
Yep.
they've been doing. Like they've
They've been
been,
doing it.
yeah,
It's
they've been
routine.
putting up shots.
Yep. It's
Routine.
routine. Creating that routine. So a part of that routine, obviously, you're in there working out every day. You're figuring out your journey. What was that kind of welcome to the NFL moment? On the field that you were just like, oh, this is what it's like.
I would definitely say OTAs in the summer.
Yeah.
Um, where for me coming in as a rookie playing against like what we call old heads. These are like your veterans. They've been
Yep.
around the league 5+ years.
Yep.
They're like the faces of the NFL, not just the team, but the faces of the NFL.
Yeah.
Just really like, zoning in and listening and learning about what their routines and experiences were or are, and putting your own sauce on top of it, right? I
Yeah.
know that, like, for me, there's two types of speeds. There's practice speed and then there's game day speed, right? But in the NFL, I kind of had to learn that there's only one speed,
Right.
which is game day speed. And the reason for that is everybody's trying to make this team, everybody's trying to put food on the table for their families, and they be damn if they let a rookie come in and take it,
That's real.
right? So you kind of got to go in with this mentality of, I deserve to be here just like anybody else. I'm gonna make them remember me. I'm gonna make them pay. Type of mindset, and I think naturally that will show through your style of play.
Mm. Mm.
So for me, like, I'm not that far away from my competition. I'm at an arm's length on the line of scrimmage. So in other words, I'm not hiding. I'm right here every snap, every
Yep.
play,
Yep.
and there's not a lot of room for error when it comes to avoiding contact and or standing on business.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the trenches is a very um special place, not just physically but also mentally. You have to be able to take it there in order to either prove a point or to, like I said, stand on business.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So clearly, you spent several years in the league, right? You were with the Cardinals, right, protecting Kyler Murray. Then you were able to go to the 49ers in Dallas, and then obviously finishing your career with the Falcons. Which one was your favorite place to go to or play
For
with?
personal business,
I want to start with business first, and then I wanted to add my second was what's the personal space that you enjoyed the most?
business 49ers for sure.
Yeah.
This was the time when they were on their Super Bowl run.
Yep.
Um, just that entire organization, um, because they had already had prior success, the way that they ran their program. And it's not just talking about like in recent years, but like you go back to the Ronnie Lott days, the
Yeah.
Jerry Rice days,
Yep.
just the way that, the stadium is designed, and the atmosphere is curated. You feel that greatness within the air, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
definitely had a couple. playoff runs with the 49ers. I'll definitely say business for sure with
Yeah.
with the San Francisco
Because you
49ers.
was
But
out there. Who else
pleasure,
was it? Was Trent Williams? Trent Williams, was he down there in the trenches
I
with you?
was
Or?
I was his backup.
Really? He, you
Yeah, if
know,
I was,
ironically, like he's somebody I feel as if one, as you said, like the 49ers organization, like you feel greatness top to bottom. I was fortunate enough to sit with someone who was over their past 49ers, like Ring of Honor or something like that, I believe. And
yep,
so sitting with them and just kind of talking to them like how they connect with those athletes that still bring them in, I was just like, man, this is a different type of experience that
it's
I
family.
yeah, it's a very connected family. Like, no, when you one of us, like you are one of us. We want to see you successful from the time you want to feel to, so far after. And then fast forward, I remember seeing early on, I think Trent Williams was on the podcast with Brandon Marshall. And I was just like, man, this dude is incredibly like intelligent. Like he has this different type of spirit that I then connected to again 49ers organization. And obviously I'm seeing that even through you as I'm listening to him. I'm like, bro, what's going on down there in the trenches? Y'all ain't just, calling plays to run a sweep or, pull or anything like that. Like y'all down there talking business down there in the trenches.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. That's the OG, man. Like Trent, like I said, Trent Williams was our starter.
Yeah.
And I was his backup, so we spent a lot of time together. And one thing that he was telling me that he was getting into was jets. Like he has his own jet
Yep.
chartering company, and he was talking about buying apartments, and multifamily units and stuff like that. To where, it definitely caught my interest, because it's another revenue stream of how he can add value to different groups of people.
Yeah.
Right? Not everybody can even fathom mentally to pay 40, $50,000 to for a one-way trip to from Vegas to wherever, right? So a
Yep.
lot of people don't think like that, but there's a lot of people that do,
Yeah.
where they would rather spend the extra money for the convenience of not going through TSA, not being affected by the government shutdown. This is all more so in recent talking points, but
Yep.
there's some people that don't even want to deal with
Yep.
TSA, period.
Yep.
They want their own TSA where,
Yep.
they can bring whatever they want, um, whenever they want, however
Yep.
they want to bring it. So, definitely opened my eyes up to like a new world, if you will, in the Bay Area for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So obviously you said it, 49ers, that was one of your favorites
For
places,
business,
for
yep.
business specifically. Now, as far as pleasure, there's always two sides of every athlete. You gotta have the on field and business, and you gotta get out and play every now and again just to create that team bonding.
Atlanta.
I already knew where he was going. He said that
Yes,
was it, huh?
sir.
Yeah.
Lemon pepper Lou wings, me, please.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes,
sir. No,
sir.
Atlanta was definitely that was the spot to get
Yeah,
to. I
man.
love
That
that.
was home, man. I really enjoyed myself in Atlanta. Um, I ended up staying there for 4 years after I finished playing at 21.
Yep,
And man, I had a ball, man.
man.
Atlanta is it's a special place. It's changed over time.
Yeah,
I've seen the good and the bad.
yep,
But of course it's, more good than bad always.
yeah,
But I really love the culture of the Atlanta city, the people, the food, the culture, sports. It's a special place.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
They adopted me, man. Like I met some really, really cool people that are doing some really, really cool things that um brought me in, took me in, like Next Level Boys Academy, which is a diversion program for the inner cities of Atlanta, helping young kids not only not go to prison, but to also help them stay on the streets with their families, with their
Mm,
communities, with their family and friends, to not go to prison, man. That's something that that organization stands for, is to save our youth, save our
yep.
black sons.
Mm,
And I'm very blessed to be a part of the organization, Next Level Boys Academy in
man,
Atlanta.
That's awesome. I'm gonna definitely check into that because that's the awesome work that they're doing down there, and obviously you were being a part of, and obviously being in Atlanta during that time too. Clearly, Atlanta was one of your last stops that you made. Obviously, you spent some time down there. When you had to take the shoes off for the last time, you closed that locker up. You know, you were leaving this one chapter and stepping into your second half. What was that experience like for you? And did you kind of have any, the negative sides to it at all as far as mental health, the challenges in that space? Like, what was next?
I definitely say like initially, um, well, I've always been a person to turn whatever situation is thrown at me to the best applicable situation for me.
Yep.
So for me, man, when I got the news that I was released, um, I actually had a feeling of relief because I could focus on what I actually loved and enjoyed doing, which was entrepreneurship.
Mm,
And I immediately went into business for myself. And I used the football platform as a stepping stone to get me to do what I really love to do, which is I love helping people. I love adding value to other people. And, through my car rental business that I have now, we're able to service more than just the people that are renting the cars.
yeah.
And now we have a program that's curated to helping people become rental car owners themselves through our VIP program. So now I'm not just buying cars and renting them out to Uber drivers, but now I have a program where I'm teaching people how to buy their own cars and how they can find their own Uber drivers. So
Mm,
um, it's been a blessing to evolve from doing the thing
yep.
to now teaching people how to do the thing,
Yep.
which I think has been incredible for me, man. And one of our core goals and values is to have cars all over this country. And whether or not if we own them or not, we are still having an impact because we're coaching other people how to get their own car fleets
Yeah.
and how to get their own drivers and how to
Yep.
run their own businesses to where, I've got two students in Chicago that have just bought their first cars, man. And
That's
that's why I
awesome.
really wanted to come up there
Yeah.
and sit down with you so I could also meet with them as well, right? So we're growing, man. Our VIP coaching program is growing.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, Sweet Rides, when I first saw it, again, I picked up on it based on what what's my man's name? John
John Hope
Hope.
Bryant.
Yes. Yep. John Hope Bryant. He ended up jumping on, talking about this. And I'm like, man, what athlete is doing this? And next thing you know, I'm doing the research myself. And I'm like, well, I gotta hit him. I gotta have this conversation because people don't understand what you're able to do. Not only are you're taking your own idea, like you're creating your own business, but then also you're franchising it out to others to build their own business and have their own ownership under Sweet Rides, which is incredible. Where did the idea kind of stem from? Like, were you just sitting at home and you were just riding around in an Uber and was like, hey, I need to have this on my own? Or like, did somebody kind of toss it up for you?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I immediately went into entrepreneurship like the next week after I got released in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And for me, it was either I was either going to do Turo, which is short-term rentals on rental cars, or I was going
Yep.
to do Airbnb, which is short-term rentals in real estate.
In real estate. Yep.
And I immediately realized that, man, for me to rent out my personal place and me to go stay in a hotel, that don't make a lot of sense. So instead of renting out my home, I rented out my car, which was perfect because I lived in the Buckhead area.
Yep.
So I walked everywhere anyway. And man, my first weekend on tour, I made $500.
Just about renting out the car and just
Just
here the
giving this lady the
keys.
keys to the car. And that weekend showed me that I could make a lot of money really fast by adding a lot of value.
Yeah.
Because the reason why she paid so much was because it was last minute. And
Mm,
like I said earlier, the money that's in your pocket that can solve whatever problem that you have, that problem being solved is more valuable than the money in your pocket,
Yeah.
right? So for me, it took that situation for me to realize that there are people flying to Atlanta last minute, don't have transportation, didn't set up a rental car, that would happily pay whatever amount to get from point A to point B for a wedding, for a funeral, for a birthday, whatever it is, because those events are more valuable. Those moments are more valuable than two, three, four, or
Yep.
$500 or whatever it
Yep.
is, right?
Yep.
So that next week, man, actually that following Monday, I went to the dealership and guess what I did?
Bought you a car.
I bought another car, man.
Bought another
And
one. Had to.
for those first 2 years, man, I scaled up to 10 or so cars
Okay.
under my personal credit, just going to different dealerships. And these dealerships, they're looking at my application, looking at my income. They're thinking I'm just buying these cars for myself. They had
Yeah.
no idea I was like actually renting these cars out and making
Yeah.
money off of them.
Yeah.
And it's something that we call leverage in business, where um, I'm leveraging my personal credit to acquire this auto loan.
Yep.
Let's say the auto loan is $650 a month, right? Not only am I responsible for paying it every 30 days, but I'm also responsible for generating more than $650 in 30 days, right? So for me, it's a numbers game.
I'm about
If
to say
I can make,
the numbers you
it's a
making more
numbers
money over
game.
here, then cool.
It's a
This what y'all
numbers
asked me
game,
to
man.
pay? Cool.
So going back to the numbers, if you charge $100 a day, and on average it's 30 days in a month, 100 times 30, it's roughly $3,000, right? If your car payment is only $500, you do the math.
Yep.
You're grossing 3,000, but your car
Yep.
payment is only 500. So you have remaining 2,500 or so minus insurance or whatever that case may be.
Yeah.
Because everybody insurance differs, everybody monthly payment differs. But the point is that you're going to make more than what you're spending on the car,
Yep. Yep.
right? And everything left, you can take a nice trip, you can
Yep.
take care of your family, or whatever you got to do, you can do it. But I suggest everybody, not for the benefit of my program, but for the benefit of their household,
Yeah.
that they take a look into helping others in need that are coming to their city, coming into their town for a football game, for an event, whatever the case may be. I mean, even the people that live in these cities need transportation too,
Yep.
right? So I had to pivot my business model from like short-term rentals on Turo
Yep.
to long-term rideshare drivers, because that was a lot more consistent for me, because I don't have to hunt. Man, I lived in Atlanta, man. I lived in Atlanta. For those
So
that don't know what that means and never been there, Atlanta is a place to where if you're not aware of your surroundings or aware of the people that you're dealing with, you can look up and be like, "Oh my God, what just happened?"
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I got away from the short-term space simply because I got tired of repossessions, I got tired of damages, I got tired of weed in my car. I
Yeah.
got just tired of dealing with that type of
Clientele.
um clientele, right? To where I transitioned to more of a business savvy approach, where
Yep.
these drivers, they're not just renting a car just because they want to rent the car, but they're renting the car so they can make money to feed their family.
Yep.
So they got more to lose.
Yep.
Think about it. If you um flying to New Orleans for the weekend, right? And you run a car, you you know, hit something on accident, are you really gonna lose sleep over that? Right?
Not
I mean,
too
it's a
much.
rental
Exactly.
car.
Exactly. It's
I
a rental
mean,
car. It's like cool,
you
man.
paid
It is what it
for it.
is.
It
Pay
ain't
my
your
little
car. You don't really
insurance.
care.
Exactly. It's insured. Like I'm gonna go drop it back
Yeah,
off
you
at the rental
good.
place,
You
and I'm
gonna
going
drop
on
it
my way.
off with the bumps on the side of it. Hey, here's the keys. I'm going back on the plane. I'm back in Chicago, right? But if you take that same example of somebody who has family, who has a wife or a husband, that has to provide food on the table, that's doing Uber, Lyft, or rideshare full time, if they get into an accident, it's going to affect them a little bit more
Yeah.
because this is how they make their money.
That's their livelihood.
They're gonna keep it clean.
Yep.
They're not gonna have no accidents. They're not gonna speed. They're not gonna smoke, right?
Yep.
Because they're picking people up and providing a service for other people. So if they business, which is that car, is not in top shape, they can't make as much money as they could.
Exactly. They become
You
that
see,
buffer already in the pipeline, in the ecosystem. They become that buffer for you that you don't even have to think about it. Before, you had to make sure you had the Clorox wipes, clean it up, make sure you had the air
correct.
freshener in there. Now you got a bunch of extra overhead for what?
Correct. And for us, we want people that want to take ownership of these cars in a sense that, you know what, this is now my car, right? I'm going to
Yeah.
make sure I pay every week, every day to ensure that I can make my money on it, right?
Yep.
And a lot of people don't really understand how Uber works, but you can make a lot of money really fast on Uber. As a matter of fact, let's do a live example, Jabbar. You
Yep.
ready?
Yep.
Do you have the Uber app on your phone?
Yep.
Can you pull it up for me?
Yeah.
So wherever your location is right now, I don't need to know where it is,
Yep.
but type in from how far you are at your location to the Chicago O'Hare International Airport. It's O'Hare, right?
Yeah. O'Hare is one of them. Yep.
Oh, it's one of them. Excuse me.
We got O'Hare and then we got Midway.
Got you. So whichever the closest airport is to you, just type in how much it will cost you on the low end to the high end to get to
Yeah.
the airport right now.
To get to the airport right now, this is gonna cost me 92 or 220.
That's the cheapest,
The cheapest right now, UberX, yeah, 92.
$92, right?
Yep.
So the reason why we communicate to people that they can make at least $100 a day is literally for what you just said. Um, that Uber driver has the ability to make, you said $92
Yep.
all the way to $220.
Yep.
And how far are you from the airport?
I'm probably about 45 minutes because I'm outside the city. I'm outside of
Gotcha.
downtown.
So
So you said
basically,
downtown you'd probably be about half that though. You probably about $40, 45.
got
That's the
you.
cheapest. Yep.
So basically, my point is this: a person that wants to invest into the Chicago Uber market, that at bare minimum can make $100 a day, is simply because that Uber driver can make $100 in 45 minutes
Yeah.
or $220 in 45 minutes.
If they driving black,
Correct. And that is where our VIP coaching program comes in to tailor your experience to which car to buy, which car not to buy, and how
Yeah.
to attract the drivers that are going to pick people up like yourself and drive them 45 minutes so that they can earn $99 in 45 minutes or $220 in 45
Yeah.
minutes. So
Yeah.
um a lot of people don't really process that part. Why would anybody pay $100 a day? Because they can make that shit in 45 minutes.
Exactly. Exactly. Literally drive there and
Also,
back and now I got $100 in my pocket.
more than that, also 100% of the tips goes directly to the Uber driver, which is not
Mm.
included in that trip that you just mentioned to me.
Mm.
So if an Uber driver gets tipped 5, 10, $20, that goes directly to their account. That has nothing to do with the trip service because it's a tip.
Yep. Yep.
So we
Man.
teach people how to attract those types of drivers and how to set up their business in a sense that they can easily charge $100 a day because they're going to make more than $100 in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why they would pay $100 a day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you spot on. Man, you got something with this, man. This is incredible. When I heard the business model and I'm understanding, I'm like, oh yeah, this is a conversation we gotta have because it just unpacks so much and it's so easily accessible and attainable to where it's like it sounds as if the only challenge that you might have up front is just your upfront cost investment on purchasing a car if you want to purchase a car.
Right. And that's why we work with all types of clients from all walks of life. Whether they have good credit, we've got methods. Whether you've got bad credit, we've got methods for that. Um, And in that example that you just gave of like the $99 all the way to $220 in 45 minutes, I just want to go back to that, right?
Yep.
Um, this is why if I just moved to Chicago, I don't have any cash, I don't have any credit, I don't have any family, I don't know anybody, but I gotta make money to live in Chi-Town, right?
Yep.
The easiest thing for me to do is not to buy a car. The easiest thing for me to do is to rent a car for $100 a day, simply because I know I can make that in less than an hour.
Write that back. And
I don't
more.
need, and more. I don't need a college degree.
Yep.
I don't need to be told what time to show up for work. Right? You
Yep.
make your own, and this is why Uber has been so successful. By the way, they make billions of dollars every single year. Guess how many cars they own?
Probably outsource them. Zero. Now they don't even carry that
Zero.
overhead, that maintenance, none of that stuff.
What about Airbnb? They make billions of dollars. Guess how many houses they own?
Off other people outsourcing, and they got zero. It's just the
So,
idea and the
so
processes. Yep.
who owns these homes? Who owns these
Yeah.
properties? It's
Yep.
people like me and you. It's
Yep.
everyday investors. It's
Yep.
institutional investors. It's non-institutional investors that are investing into their zip code, investing into their city, that want a particular outcome, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for a lot of us, income is the outcome, right? We all want income, but in order to get income, you got to invest to receive income,
Yep.
right? So for us, man, it's been a blessing to have students all over this country, and coach them through success in their specific zip codes and markets, to where they're helping service other people. Because in this economy right now, man, like I said, the government has had the longest shutdown in history.
Yep.
Inflation is through the roof. I mean,
Yep.
they're now discussing adding more debt with more years for the
Yep.
same product. You know what I'm talking about? I'm
Yep.
talking about from a 30-year mortgage to a 50-year
Yep. To a
mortgage. I'm
50-year
talking about,
mortgage. Yeah,
right. I'm
that's
talking about
crazy.
a 4-year loan to a 15-year car loan.
Yeah.
Right. So basically what I'm saying is it's very expensive to do the same activities that we're always doing.
Always doing. Yep. Yep.
Right. So minimum wage, to my understanding, is not like jumping up. Right. Minimum wage is staying minimum wage, but everything else is getting more expensive.
Yep.
So, in our coaching program, we teach people how to monetize their credit, how to monetize their cash to help other people.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of Americans, many Americans don't have $30,000 cash to buy a car cash. Like
Yep.
that's not the normal like everyday thing. Like people just
Yep.
have 30,000 cash. The normal thing isn't to where people have 800 credit score, 700 credit score to just finance their own car. Or why don't they
Yep.
just get a loan and buy their own car? Well, they
Yep.
probably either don't want to or they probably can't.
Right.
I mean, look at the real estate market. They're outperforming, out buying a lot of residents so that they're forced to rent. It's like Monopoly. If you land on my property, you got to pay me
Gotta pay.
whatever I say the price is going to be.
Yep. Gotta pay.
Yesterday's price is not today's price, right?
Yes,
So if
sir.
you don't own it, then you don't control it.
Yeah. Yep.
So for us, man, is about how we can teach people ownership, regardless of their credit score,
Yeah.
regardless of their cash or liquidity, and empowering those individuals all over the country to where they can help add value to other people. That's where the real money comes in.
Yeah. 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 So through this process, you have the VIP program. Like, how can they even get started? Like, what? So I'm new. I'm interested. Outside is just contacting you directly, But like, how do I get started? If I say, hey, this is something I want to get involved in, I want to invest in, I want to learn more. Like, where do we go to find that information out from?
My Instagram is at SWEET 904. That's Sweet 904. My last name is Sweet. 904 is the area code of where I'm from in Jacksonville, Florida. So
Yes,
Sweet
sir.
904, if you click the link in my bio, it'll take you to our application page to see if it's a good fit for us to work together or not, right?
Yep.
There's certain criteria
Okay.
that you have to fill out on the application to let us know if it's a good fit. And then at that point, you'll speak to one of my team members and they'll gather more information from you to align with your goals.
Yeah.
And for what we deem as success in our program is to replace your monthly living expenses and replace that with monthly consistent revenue coming in. So for example, if one of my clients, you know, monthly living expenses are $3,000 to $4,000 a month, I think it's safe to say that they at least need $3,000 to $4,000 coming in every month. Would you
Yep.
agree?
Yep.
All right. So after that, we take them through a process or a game plan to how can we achieve this $3,000 to $4,000 a month coming in based on where they are financially.
Yeah.
Maybe they have good credit, maybe they don't have good credit. But regardless of your credit score, we've got methods and ways to help you acquire cars, to help you scale your business, to help you automate your business, and how to help them put themselves in a position to where drivers can find them. Notice I said drivers find them, not them finding
Yep.
drivers,
Yep.
right? And it's simply through the couple of boss moves that we teach, business optimization success secrets.
Mm.
Uh, Lead generation is number one. If you don't have lead generation, if you don't know what lead generation is, it's basically every time you see a commercial, every time you see something on Instagram, you hear something on the radio. Um, for lack of better words, you are a potential lead to that company that you're hearing that offer to, right?
Yep.
Um, if you see these new Jordans on TV, right? They're running that advertisement to get more leads that are potentially interested in buying those Jordans, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably have
Yeah.
a phone number or a website where you can type in that website or call that phone number on your own, and then the sales process begins,
Yeah.
right? Um, so just a few different things that we teach in our program um, to help people scale and grow their car rental business.
Man, I love it. What's the time frame that it usually takes? So from the beginning to inception, when I can put my first car and driver out on the road, about how long does that take?
Honestly, it really depends on that particular client. A lot of our clients are busy with everyday lives,
Yep.
like they have their busy everyday lives. Some people have kids, some people don't have kids. But if you follow our process, everything can happen within the first week,
Yeah.
right? So, assuming that you actually fill out the credit application on your free annual credit report that we ask you to do, and you get us your highest credit bureau score, whatever that may be, whether it's TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian, we'll say, okay, well, you just provided us, you got a 700 credit score on TransUnion. Now we've got a list of 20 different banks that only pull from TransUnion, right? And then it's up to them to go inside of those banks or call those banks and say, hey, I want to apply for an auto loan.
Yep.
Well, we know what your score is. We
Yeah.
know what their minimum acceptance score is. So we already know you're gonna get approved,
Yep. Because you
right?
already did the pre-work for
Because
it.
you already
So
you told them what your high score was,
exactly. Exactly.
right? And then after that point, it's on them to go inside of the bank and apply. So they have to
Yeah.
apply on their own. They have to talk to the banks on their own.
Yep.
And once they acquire the car or the approval for the car, that's when we help them with the car buying process. And based on their value system will determine which car they should buy. For example, let me ask you, in that $99, which is the cheapest, to the $220 trip on your phone from your location to the airport,
Yep.
which trip would you take? Would you take the $99 one? Would you take the 220 one?
Yeah. I'm different. So I'll probably end up taking the 221.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with taking the
Yeah.
220. So that's
Yeah.
probably going to be Uber Black Truck.
Yep.
Escalade, Chevy, Tahoe, Suburban, something like that, right?
Yep.
So whatever the reason of why you selected the 221
Leg
will be
room.
the okay, that's
Right.
fair. It will be the same reason why you should buy a black truck because you value black truck. You value the
Mm.
leg room. You
Yep.
value the type of service that you're going to receive when you order the more expensive trip. It's no different than the Ritz Carlton and the Motel 6.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why the Ritz Carlton is $500 a night is because that owner invested 500 million in the land, in the
Yep.
pool, resort, spa, and the amenities and the heated floors. The linen is different. You sleep
Mm-hmm.
different,
The
right? The
services.
air quality is cleaner.
Yeah.
Whereas the Motel 6, the owner maybe invested 50,000 and he gonna charge you $50 a night.
Yep.
But the difference is it's gonna be bugs. The line gonna look crazy. The service gonna be terrible. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
smell like smoke when you arrive. Nobody gonna help you with your bags,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just not gonna be as pleasant of an experience than the $500 a night. And that
Yep.
comes back down to what I said earlier: is if I'm celebrating anniversary, birthday, an award, me paying $500 for this experience, that experience is more valuable to me than the $500,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So that's why we kind of like compare the two because what type of service do you want? And I'm not to say that the 99 driver would be a terrible Uber driver, but it ain't gonna be more leg room, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be. It's like an airplane. You got first class, you got comfort plus,
Yep.
and you got basic economy.
Yep.
Regardless of how you travel, how you move, that's your business. But you can't complain from the back of the plane that you ain't get your fresh baked cookies and a free beer. You didn't pay. You
You
didn't
didn't
pay the
pay. You
free
didn't pay.
beer. You didn't
Exactly.
pay the free beer and the warm cookie price.
Exactly. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
You
So
paying for service and you paying for experience.
that's all it is. And a lot of people only focus on the product, but they don't look at the service associated with that product. The
Yeah.
reason why first class is more expensive is not just because of the actual seats, but it's the service because of the seats.
Yep. Yep.
First class is Uber Black.
To and from.
Uber Blue, which is like luxury, is like Comfort Plus. It's not first class, but it ain't economy either.
You're
See what
right.
I'm saying? It's
Uh-huh.
like it's a nice Mercedes, it's a nice BMW, it's a nice, modest, smooth $30,000 to $40,000 car. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
It's gonna get you what you need. You'll be comfortable, but the back of the plane, that's Uber green. That's bumper might be falling off,
Yep.
might smell like a little weed.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
That's getting you to and
um,
from too.
it's gonna
But it's
get
just
you
a
from
different
point A to point
experience
B,
and it's a
but it's
different
gonna be a
service.
different experience. It's gonna be a different experience, and that's pretty much all it comes down to, man. So
Man.
I appreciate
Man.
you having me on, man. This was a
Yeah, man.
dope opportunity. I look forward to coming to visit you in Chicago in the summertime.
Yeah, we're
Maybe
gonna get you in
early
the
succession.
summertime, bro. We're gonna get out on the water so you can, see that. Obviously, we're gonna connect, make sure you connect with the clients. But Chicago has so much more than ICE agents and the military being here, what people see on the news. Like that's one thing. Like when you actually here, you ain't dealing with none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like you enjoying the city, you enjoying there's some great restaurants, some great people, a lot of business that runs through the city of Chicago, and so much more. So man, obviously, you always welcome to come up this way, man. I gotta ask before we get up out of here, man. Obviously you've been building this. You've created the VIP packages. What's next for you? Because you seem to be in this entrepreneurial business, ideas just flowing. Like, what's next for you? Because I know it's not just stopping with this one platform here.
To be honest with you, man, my vision, my mission is to make an impact in every major NFL city.
Mm,
I'm talking about literally every NFL team you can think of is a major city in this country. It's an NFL city for a reason, and it's
yep.
probably more than just an NFL city. probably has MLB, probably has NBA and other leagues. So for us, we want to make an impact specifically in every NFL city. Whether I own the cars or not is irrelevant,
Yeah.
but I want my students to be successful in these cities. Right. So we're building our own ecosystem, we're building our own infrastructure so that we can have that impact relatively faster than if I was to buy cars in every city.
Yeah.
Um, and I would rather have 30% of a watermelon versus 100% of a grape. That's gonna go over a lot of people's head.
It is. It is. It's a
But
lot of C's though.
correct, correct. I would, I would rather have 30%. You know how people say, would you rather have dinner with
Uh-huh.
Jay-Z or the 500K? Depending on who you ask, the answer's gonna change. But um, what people don't see that take the 500K is the relationships with Jay-Z that could potentially, I'm not gonna say that will be, could potentially be worth
Yep.
way more than the 500K if you have a relationship
Yeah.
with a person that is well connected, right?
Yep.
So it's more so looking at we call that the intrinsic value,
Yeah.
not
Yep.
necessarily the retail value.
Yeah.
And that's, I hope that didn't go over a lot of people's head, but it's more so of what you think something is worth as opposed to what they say is worth, right? Let me break it down. Um, the people on Zillow may say my grandma house or my big mama house is worth 400 grand
Mm-hmm.
or 200 or 300 grand or whatever it is,
Yep.
right? But to me, my big mama house, my auntie house, my daddy house is priceless.
Yeah.
You can't put a value,
Yeah.
you can't put a number on how much value this thing, this home, this property, this land, whatever means to me. You know,
Yep.
and lastly, I'm gonna give you this last example, just in case if I went over anybody's head. But if I gave you $1 million today, would you take it?
Sure. Yes. I'll take it.
But what if I told you if I give you this $1 million, your life has to end today? Would you still take it?
Absolutely not.
So the reason why you wouldn't take it is because you intrinsically already know that your life is more valuable than $1 million.
Then that $1 million.
So
Absolutely.
that's what intrinsic value is, as opposed to what they say it is worth.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
Nobody would take that deal.
No, ain't nobody doing that. Absolutely. Not in their right mind, shall I say that?
Show you right.
You know, but yeah, my brother, man, William, man, you got an incredible story. You're on an incredible journey, and I'm looking forward to seeing so much more of what you're able to do. You're on a true mission, and I think it's going to add so much value to not only just other athletes, other people, but really building on a lot of these families, bro. So continue to do what you do, man. Continue to grow, man. You obviously got a resource here. Any ways that I could be a support, a resource, or anything like that, brother, you know I'm always here to help, man. That's a part of my mission, is to just help serve and connect the dots between people and be those relationships for a lot of us former athletes to understand that there's so much more beyond the game that we play on the field, and how do we use those things that we did on the field to transition into our next journey in our second half.
And I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, my brother. Everybody tuning in, be sure to hit William up. Be sure to jump in the DMs to find out more information. We'll make sure we add it to the link right below right here. All those, make sure you guys hit that like, follow, and subscribe, and we out. Peace.
Peace.